In case you're not aware, this is a very special action figure. I mean, right at the top it says Special Edition. Here it says Special Limited Edition. And here it says it comes with a Special Edition comic book. So this is Todd McFarlane's Spawn Clown Limited Edition Gold version, I guess. It's not extremely clear exactly what the official title of that would be. And you see there's lots of Spawn figures on the back. This is from 1996. So, you know, there are other clown figures. There's Clown there. This is the kind of the regular version. There's Spawn. So, yeah, lots of... McFarlane just, I mean, had tons and tons and tons of figures. Some cool, some a little bizarre. The Max was kind of a cool one. That was a cool comic series, and there was a cartoon show on MTV. I mean, some of these are kind of cool, you know. I wouldn't mind having some of those, but not super interested in them. I did open that is a mutant Spawn. It transforms, actually. I opened that in a previous episode. That thing is pretty slick, so I decided to keep that. I just like how it looks. But yeah, this guy's interesting. So he's got the gold head. It turns into the Violator monster head. He's got some like piece of meat on there, and there's a comic book as well. So we're gonna open this guy up. I actually need some scissors for this because the way it's sealed isn't a, I don't know what you actually call these, like vacuum pack kind of thing. Let's move this out of the way. You know, Spawn was very popular. I mean, at this point, I feel like the Spawn franchise was on a bit of a decline. I mean, there was a bubble in the comic industry anyway. Spawn, I believe it started in 91 or 93, somewhere around there. I want to say 93. And the first issue sold like a bajillion copies. And that's why you actually see it says down here, America's top-selling comic book. Because it did sell a lot. And I don't, know the exact numbers and things, but I feel like the first 10 or so issues were pretty popular, and then it kind of declined after that. After about a year or so, the novelty wore off a bit. But there was a movie, and I believe, I want to say John Leguizamo played this character, Clown. I remember watching it. I was in 8th grade. So yeah, that would have been 93, 94. These things are just not easy to open. And they're sharp and they cut your hand open. Yeah, there was video games. Obviously, like a ton of action figures. I mean, there's so many Spawn action figures. And, with that comic collecting bubble, it also brought along a sort of a toy collecting bubble as well. So, okay, that's kind of cool. I got like a little cover to it. So, Todd McFarlane Spawn #1. Todd Toys, ages 4 and up. Contains small parts. Do not aim weapons at eye or face. So his hand rotates there. He's got a turkey leg club, so he can bash you over the head with that. Wow, look at that. A Violator monster rig. That's pretty cool. Spawn Alley. Interesting. So, I wonder if this is a... Yeah, and you see the artwork is very 90s. There's just a lot going on. And it's, it's kind of cool. I mean, this was kind of the era that we lived in at the time. That's kind of what we had, but it just got to be a little bit too much. This was, again, an era where people would just go and, buy. I've read reports, stories of people, really thinking they would send their kid to college or they could retire off comic books. And they would literally go into a store and grab multiple copies of literally every single book on the shelf. Obviously, any kind of basic, business class or econ class, law of supply and demand. So if you're printing literally millions of copies of, say, Spawn #1, and So there are plenty of copies out there in circulation. Then there's no scarcity to it, so it's not very valuable. And at this time, this is when like Action Comics #1 topped. At the time, I think it was like $100,000. Because I remember thinking, like, especially in those dollars, you know, it was more than a house. It cost as much as a house. Then it was like 250. Now, obviously, it's like millions of dollars. I think the copy sold for like 3 point something million dollars recently. Look at that. That's an ugly mug. So, yeah, that is a little bit scary. I'm going to admit. So there he is, the clown. He's got like pubic hair on his head. And then you do that. And he's got his violator head. So that is interesting. It's very hollow. Doesn't seem very sturdy, but oops. The function works decent. It's just, again, kind of a frightening looking dude. Was that my Action Comics #1? Oh yeah, so there's just so many. You know, the Death of Superman, all these Spawn comics, X-Men #1, the one from the 90s that had the various covers. And so there's just so many of them. And then it's like, well, now nobody really wants those. I mean, because everybody who wanted them had it. And if you do want it, they're pretty easy to find. So that's just not really how things work. And I think the same thing happened with action figures. People would just buy and buy and buy these Spawn action figures and the X-Men action figures and just kind of anything that came out, keeping them in the box, thinking kind of the same thing, that, oh, these are going to be worth money one day. But, you know, if you have such a huge supply of them and a low demand, then, ew. It feels greasy and it smells. Ew. Maybe that's really turkey. It smells kind of like, not quite like WD-40, but some kind of like automotive fluid. So he's kind of like, he kind of reminds me of, first of all, that does not fit in his hand very well. Just turkey leg club. I mean, that's something that, you know, that's, I don't know what to say about that. That is an interesting looking dude right there. I mean, I'm sure lots of kids wanted that figure. They just 3 and up, they just 4 and up. Reminds me kind of like Ram Man from Masters of the Universe. He's hollow inside, and so it feels very, very frail. You can see inside of there, there's really not a whole lot to him. There's some like spring mechanisms and things like that. His feet are rather solid. His arms are hollow too, so. Yeah, what a weird figure. Spawn, Clown, Gold Edition. Special edition. This is a special numerous times so that you know it's special. So, as always, thanks for watching. I'm always on the lookout for weird figures. I guess I can put this guy on here. Maybe I have to start a Spawn shelf, and I'm gonna keep him. I mean, how can you not keep him? He's pretty bizarre, and he's got that turkey leg. So, it's around lunchtime now. I'm pretty hungry. Might go find me some turkey.